Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Do Good Legacy podcast. Today's episode is extremely special because I am bringing on my coach. Yes, that's right. You heard it. My coach. Proud to share this with you guys. Proud to be and share this room with her. She has been not only a dear friend of mine, but also such a mentor and inspiration, especially over the last 2 to 3 years and my such changes and pivots and all the things. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Giulia Guerrieri.
Hey,
Welcome, my
Jen.
dear.
Thank you.
I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I think we've had this on the books for so long, and now we're
Oh,
finally making it happen.
I know. It's long overdue. I was so excited when you agreed to come on. I felt like there was so much that I wanted to share with people, but I really wanted to make it like our, back in the day coffee chats, how we would just shoot
hmm
the shit. And one of the things that I admire about you is the way you've ran your business. I've always admired this about you. Like you have such a feminine yet masculine way of doing this that I've always been like, how do you find the balance, right? And you
hmm
didn't even start off as a business coach. Like you were all
hmm
about manifesting and calling in, the laws of attraction. I remember
hmm
watching or finding you on TikTok years ago. Actually, yes, it was TikTok. And then it was
Mm.
through Vanessa Lau's mastermind.
Yeah.
And then it was through George, which obviously is
Yeah.
on this podcast, that he introduced us. And he literally was like, you two are going to get along really well.
Yeah.
And we connected. And ever since then, it was like magnets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want you to walk us through your transition because I think that's really
hmm
important. I think so many people, especially now, as you know, I just finished my event, and one of the biggest conversations in the room was women are so hesitant to change and transition. I've
hmm
changed so many times. Although for me, every time I change, I feel like I'm like having a temper tantrum as I do it.
Yeah.
It's and so I feel like it's such a good segue for us to start with you sharing how you went from being a manifesting coach and your entire journey with that, because it's so inspirational
hmm
to where you are today, multi-million-dollar business. So Mike is yours.
Thanks, Jen. So it really all started when I kind of just always understood social media. And when I was first starting out, I was just posting on social media for fun. You and I resonate a lot about the influencer era. So that was really big for me.
Yeah.
And during that era, I saw this massive opportunity for content creation, but not really in the way that everyone else was seeing it. Because I was never so passionate about lifestyle content, if I'm being honest. I was never watching vlogs on YouTube. I wasn't really even consuming a lot of lifestyle content. I've always been a consumer of more educational content. It's so funny, right? Because it's I'm a content creator at my core,
Yeah.
but I don't really consume lifestyle stuff. I'm really into, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so wait, I'm such a years girl, so give us numbers.
Yeah.
Around what year was this?
Around 2019 was when I was first trying the influencer thing.
Yeah.
And then 2020, I was getting into more educational. And then 2021, I was yeah, this lifestyle stuff is not for me. Because I had just moved to New York City and I was kind of doing it a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because it was big. Everyone wanted to see my life in New York. But to
Yeah.
me, I was I need some sort of substance. And
Mhm.
I think that lifestyle creators, the biggest ones, they do it exceptionally well. They just have this vibe, they have this aura. And I just knew that wasn't me. That's just not my thing.
Who were the educators that you were watching?
Gary Vee was a big
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Really mainstream. I mean, I would say probably Gary Vee was the biggest and biggest inspiration for me. And
Yeah.
I actually found Alex Hormozy sub 100K followers because I knew someone that had gone through Gym Launch and they had
Uh-huh.
recommended them to me. So Marcos and I were consuming that content probably since 2021, 2022. So that was also then I was seeing this trend of education, but right, the biggest gap that most creators see at that point is what am I going to talk about?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's I don't have these massive accolades that people are going to trust me yet.
Yeah.
So that's where I think lifestyle creation is a really good starting point.
Yeah.
And that is what I did. And then I started talking about things that I was taking my own time to like learn and study, which was
Mhm.
manifestation, mindset, personal development, spirituality. But deep down, I kind of always knew it was just going to be a stepping stone. Like
Mm.
I never saw myself going like really deep into getting like all these certifications and that kind of route that I feel, have to go down to get really big in the
Yeah.
spiritual niche. So I'm like, okay, let me just like do this, start this. And my TikTok blew up. Like that was like my entry point. I got in at really good timing,
Mhm.
and everyone kind of knew me for my manifestation TikToks. I could walk around New York City, people would recognize me. They're like, "Are you that manifestation girl on TikTok?" Which is so funny to think about
That's
now,
so
because
weird.
I feel like people who find me today and they hear
Uh,
these stories, they're like, "Wait, what?" And it's so interesting because that truly was my starting point.
yeah.
So I built that business, which was mindset and manifestation coaching, to
Mhm.
multiple six figures.
Yep.
And then it was only in 2023 that I made the pivot and started kind of like dipping my toes into creator economy, business world, things like that. But I had the history of like, I've grown my own manifestation coaching business. Now
Mhm.
I want to teach other like niche creators how to build businesses like from what I learned.
Yep.
And that's when my business exploded. And it was because I really hit this untapped market of understanding organic content so well, but
Mhm.
also understanding business. So, seeing organic content from the angle of lead generation and being able to grow your business without ad spend and
Mhm.
actually growing your brand simultaneously.
What do you think got you to that point? Like, what was the gap? Was it a skill gap? Was it like just the personal development part of you, the imposter?
Mhm.
Like, what was it that you were like, okay, I'm now going to go from, manifesting coach to I'm now going to run a multi-million-dollar business? What was that moment?
Yeah. So I actually had a mentor at the time, and I had said to him like, should I grow this manifestation coaching? But I was about 300K lifetime revenue at that
Hmm.
time in 2022, and I was like, should I grow this manifestation coaching business to $1 million, or should I make the pivot and that's going to be the thing that makes my first million?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like you can only make the best decision with what you have. And my coach actually told me to grow the manifestation coaching business. And then once that gets to 1 million, then show people here's how I did it. But I
Mm.
started to feel really like misaligned with the manifestation stuff. And I haven't really said this outright publicly,
Uh-huh.
but I was getting like really pissed off with like the personal development world and like
Mhm.
spiritual world,
Yeah.
because it was like all like just hoping and wishing your problems will go away. And
Mhm.
like most of the people in that niche, right, wanted to break out of scarcity, jobs they don't like, right, and things like that. But what was missing was this massive gap that I saw, that like actually building a business
Mhm.
is going to be the solution to what you want.
Right.
And I was not really able to coach people beyond the point of like, I don't know what to tell you besides grow a freaking business,
Yeah.
start a business. Like starting a business pretty much solved all my problems. So like,
Mhm.
yeah, I manifest and I meditate and I'm
Right.
spiritual, but I was getting this like burning desire and passion for sharing like with entrepreneurs or entrepreneurial people, here's how to grow a business. And I really wasn't resonating with like all the other pillars of manifestation, like relationship and work, like getting a career advance or like
Mhm.
manifesting money in the mail. So when I was kind of like evolving myself, it was not feeling in integrity for me to try to tell people like just manifest some checks in the mail.
Yeah.
I was wanting the next thing to teach
Right.
about.
I love that. It's so funny. I feel like I can relate to you a lot in that sense of like I mean I love talking about personal development. I love talking about manifestation. I love all of that. I mean I go deep into quantum physics. Like I have
Mm,
like done all of that. But at the end of the day, if you can sit in kumbaya all you want, but if there's no actual like action steps, like even if
exactly.
it's just like I want to lose weight, like let's take money
Yeah.
off the table and running a business, right? Or I want to have a loving relationship. Like
Hmm.
at the end of the day, even if you want a loving relationship or you want to have that
Hmm.
partner, you still have to do the work. And the work might be
Yeah.
inner work or
Yeah.
outer work, right? Like it might be therapy, it might be
Yeah.
like actually like doing like I'm thinking of that book, Calling in the One. I
Hmm.
don't have you ever heard of it? I don't know if you ever did it.
That's how I met Marcos, that book.
Get Out.
Yeah.
Stop. Oh.
Yeah, I did that book, and that book like changed everything for me.
Oh my. Okay, so then that was my next question too. Is like I literally have circles here like Marco. But wait, I have so many questions as you were talking. I'm taking notes. This is like ADD on crack right now.
Yeah.
So, did you ever meet Gary Vee, by the way?
No.
Oh my God. You think his videos are bomb? You ever meet that man in person? He's got this energy. I met him at an event in New York City once, and I
Yeah.
asked him a question, and he picked me, and then he did like the whole
Yeah.
video and everything on his channel. After the event, I like introduced myself, whatever. He's super cool dude,
Yeah.
and he's got such an energy about him,
Yeah.
like such a fire of like, if you ever have any insecurity about who you are or what you want to be in a room with that man, and it is like
Mm.
electric. I can imagine that like probably Alex is like that as well. Alex Hermosi is probably like
Mhm.
that as well, because I feel like all those people that have done something like that have
Yeah.
that type of energy. But yeah, I thought that was interesting that you were like watching Gary Vee videos. I started with Gary Vee as well,
Mhm.
and I was like, he's way too like masculine for me.
Yeah.
I need a little bit of a, I need some like
Yeah.
to chill just a little bit. Like he gave me anxiety.
Yeah.
And then when I met him in person, I was like, actually, he's
Yeah.
really
I
fucking
get it.
cool. I can
Yeah.
shoot the shit with him. Okay, so I wanted to talk about Marcos
Mhm.
because I think that's like such an important conversation as someone who's also, you know, been running a business for a long time, had success. I always have felt like it was one or the other.
Mm.
Something that I'm really working on and working
Yeah.
through. My last relationship, was a great guy, all the things, and
Mhm.
unfortunately it didn't work out. And I say all that to say that like I know the behind the scenes story of like how you
Mhm.
and Marcos met, and like you were very like, we're gonna take our sweet time.
Mhm.
So like I want to hear, and I didn't know that you had read Calling the One. So
Yeah.
tell me more.
Before I met him, like I was just at a stage in my life where I knew what I wanted. And I think it was like in retrospect, like a little bit of like naivete
Hmm.
where I kind of just didn't know what I didn't know, but I had this almost like gut feeling and intuition that I need to be with somebody that's values aligned with me before anything else.
Right.
And Marcos and I talk about this all the time. Like, I literally could not be with somebody that works a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so clear about this now, but it's like I probably couldn't put these words to it like many years ago.
Yeah.
But I felt that where I'm like, oh, I want somebody that can travel with me. I want someone that could build with me. Like, I was journaling about having this like power couple relationship, if you will. Like, that's how
Mhm.
we describe it. I don't know. It's like kind of cheesy, but it's true, right?
It's true. You guys are killing it. Marcos has
A
a
marketing agency.
agency, right? And he does a
Yeah.
lot of like X. I was gonna say
Yeah.
Twitter.
X
Yeah,
and LinkedIn.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I was like, I know that I want to be with somebody where it's like we're equal parts in a
Yeah.
almost like working relationship. Like big role models for me is like Sarah Blakely and Jesse Itzler.
Yes.
Like they have like their own individual things, but then they have their shared values and their family and like the things in common.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of like how I see Marcos and I. Like a lot of people think we do business together, but we actually don't. Like we have two very separate businesses.
Mhm.
And like in this moment, I couldn't see us really doing business together. Like we're
Yeah.
very adjacent in our businesses, but it just wouldn't make sense. Like we have two very separate visions, but we're
Mhm.
very values aligned. So
Mhm.
for me, like even though I didn't ever think it would like pan out this way, because it's
Mhm.
like wow, like now it makes sense. The things I would journal about, they have come to fruition, but not in the way that I originally would have thought of. So
Give me an
when
example.
I yeah, like for example, I'm like, oh, like I remember having this one notebook and I was like, oh, I like wake up in the morning and he goes off to work and he kisses me good morning and like blah blah blah. So
Mhm.
it's like you're not like going out to an office. He's not like a man in finance, but it's
Yeah. Yeah.
manifested in the way where it's like, oh, we travel the world together and doing things like that. So I think for me, like I wanted to be with somebody that we do this thing together. And
Mhm.
it's like, there's so many men out there that I feel like just kind of want this like traditional life, which is
Mhm.
totally fine, but
Yeah.
it's not me. And
Yeah.
I just knew that like right off the bat.
Yeah.
And I made that super clear, like just in my dating life. Like I've always had this ambition to me. And I need somebody that can not just handle that, but also like hold it to a higher standard.
Yeah.
And I think that works exceptionally well. Marcos and I are complete opposites, but we have so much in common when it comes to just like values alignment. And that's probably like the best piece of advice I give to anybody
Yeah.
trying to pursue a power couple relationship. Like we don't need to be in the same business, but the values, like
Yeah.
Marcos and I have like just kind of a internal rule, if you will,
Mhm.
where we're firm on our values, but we're flexible on our preferences.
I love that. So
Mhm.
what are your values?
So I think a big value for both of us is that like we don't really believe in work-life balance. We
Mhm.
believe in like work-life integration.
Mhm.
So we're very, very supportive of each other. Like for example, like if we're had a movie night planned, but like a fire drill comes up in the business, like this shit happens and it's
Yeah.
very common.
Yeah.
It's like, no, babe, like the business goes first. I support you. Like, go do your thing, like cancel the movie night, you know? And
Yeah.
that's not every single week,
Right.
but like I need, and he feels the same way. Like I need a partner that supports my work, not
Yeah.
like, but you said you'd be done at 7 o'clock, you
Yeah.
know? So like things like that. Another value is like if you won't say it to each other's face, don't
Yeah.
say it behind each other's back. That's
Yeah.
like a huge one for us. Some of just like the smaller ones are just in like it's so funny because it's like like I said, Marcos and I are very different in a lot of ways. Like he's so type B, chill, like literally like chill police. Like
I can
he like
see that.
I got this Herman Miller chair and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh, I got this chair." And I'm like, "Do you want one? Like I think you should get one. Like I'm so locked in. It's so great." Talking all about ergonomics. He's like, "I got my lazy boy. I'm fine." He's like playing video games in the middle of the day. I'm like, "Not me." Like total opposite. Like total opposite.
I know. I could see. Like, guys, give you some context. Like, Julia is so good at systems and systemizing her brain. Like, if I could
Yeah.
have like a microsecond inside this woman's brain, like I've learned so much from her and her thought process. And like, I can just imagine. And I've never met
Yeah.
Marcos. I've obviously heard conversations,
Yeah.
this and that, but I can see you just being like, this is step one. This is step two. And Marcos being like,
He's not.
this is step 10.
Yeah, like he's gonna
But I
book
love
the
that.
flight the day before the flight, and I'm booking it like a year in advance. So that's
Yes.
a
Okay.
perfect
So
picture
I'm
of
like a
this.
Marcos. I'm like a
Yeah.
Marcos. Like I book shit. Like we're going to Costa Rica like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think the cutoff date was like the 21st or something. And I literally was like, I texted Kylie and I was like,
Yeah.
here's my flight information.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh my God. Yeah,
I was
you're
like,
like
I'm so
Marcos,
sorry.
exactly. No, I booked my flight since like before we even had the villa. Like that's how I am.
Wait, when's the wedding, by the way? Do you guys have a date?
May 2027.
Oh, I love that. It's going to
Yeah.
be in Italy, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Hmm.
my God. Oh, that's going to be so beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you
I'm
guys
so
pick a
excited.
location in Italy?
Yeah, it's gonna be in Tuscany. Yeah.
Oh, I love that for you. I love that for you. Okay, so I love this. Okay, so you started reading the book. The
Yeah.
book has how many? Oh my God, I don't remember. I literally have it on my shelf. The book has how many steps?
I think it's like 8 or 12 weeks or something. I think
Yeah,
8 weeks.
yeah, it's 8 weeks. And so you started reading it. When did you
Hmm.
meet him? And I asked this because I
Yeah.
have so many friends that have read this book and
Really?
have literally
You
found
know,
this
do you
person.
know that George knows the author?
No, I did not know that.
You need to text him about it because when I told him about this, he's like, I'm friends with the author of the book. And I'm like, I didn't know other people like knew of this book. My therapist recommended it to me.
Really?
Yeah, like a while ago.
Wow.
So I started reading this book in January of 2020. And let's say it's like eight
Wow.
weeks. So I finished like the end of February. Marcos and I knew each other for years. So
Yeah.
we've actually known each other since 2016, but we were
Mhm.
not dating or anything. And then we actually started talking around New Year's. So I read the book in January, but it took me like about a year to meet him.
Wow.
Hmm.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. Yeah, and now you guys have a house together. You're
Yeah.
obviously getting married. You have a furry baby. I was gonna say
Yeah.
a baby,
Furry
but then
baby
people are gonna be like,
is
"Wait,
our
what?"
child.
What was it, Delilah? Delilah, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so cute. Oh my goodness! Every time you post a picture, how old is she?
She's a little over 1.
I love it. I love it. How's her
Yeah.
school going, by the way?
Yeah, she goes once a week to school.
Does she
She
love it?
loves it there. Yeah.
Right?
She
My
loves her school.
Rosie used to go, it was for an entire month. She used to go every Monday through Thursday. And I would kid you not, she used to wake up at 7 a.m. and like literally just like hit the bed, get up so that I could
Yeah, she
take her.
loved it.
She loved it. And I was like,
Aww.
so I love that. Okay, so you meet Marcos, you have this pivot. So
Hmm.
you started to have the pivot when you were dating Marco.
So he has had probably like 20 failed businesses. This is like the only one that's worked. So By the time I was like starting my first business, he was on like try number 20. So actually, when we first met, I was doing drop shipping. Like, I
Right.
was like, they really like, I'm going to be a drop shipping millionaire. Like, I was so convicted in it.
Really
And then
hard.
I just, yeah. It's not that it was hard. It was, to me, it was like, it felt out of integrity for me.
Mm,
Like, I didn't like the model.
mm,
And I'm also not, yeah, whatever. So I didn't like the model. He was doing like a drone photography business, and
okay.
I was doing drop shipping, like so random. And then after like 2 months of doing it, I like sold my store and I was like, I'm not doing this. I actually made a profit on it, which was nice.
That's nice.
And then that whole year, I was doing mindset manifestation coaching 2021 and then 2022. And then I started pivoting in 2023 before I moved to Bali. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I was in Bali is when my business like blew up.
Mm-hmm.
So January of 2023, I had like an $8,000 month. And
Mm-hmm.
then December 2023, I did $180,000. So
Wow.
like just kind of think of that up level. I went from like 200K a year to
Yeah.
that being my first $1 million year. So
Wow.
like literally 5x'd the business.
Because I know this the
Yeah.
strategy piece. Like we could talk about the strategy all fucking day.
Yeah.
But there is something behind the scenes, like energetically, the
Mm,
capacity that you're able to
yeah.
hold, the woman that you have to become.
Mm,
What was it? What was it? And I know that you went through a
yeah.
lot of team shifts, like there was a lot
Yeah.
happening there, but
Yeah.
how did you do it so quickly?
Yeah, good question. Once again, not something I feel like I consciously knew in that moment, but looking back subconsciously, right? Because now we're going to get a little woo woo. Like, you're always going to just attract in your life what you subconsciously believe. So, like,
Yes.
for so long, right, I was building on this operating system of like the harder I work, the more money I make. And I have immigrant parents.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a core ingrained belief of immigrants and like even immigrant children, where
Yep.
it's like the more I work, the more money I make. But then you start to realize that can only get you so far because we all have the same amount of hours in a day.
Yeah.
So, like, I just started to think differently, honestly. And I was like, it feels really scary for me to drop these like side social media management clients that are like paying my rent.
Mm-hmm.
It feels scary to drop these like influencer collabs because I could make 10K on an Instagram post. It's
Mm-hmm.
great money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing some affiliate marketing, network marketing, and I was kind of just doing a little bit of everything. But I was like, this is really holding me back from going all in on the number one thing I want. And I just shifted my mindset to like firm goals, soft plans. Like deep
Mm-hmm.
down, I was like, I could definitely make $1 million this year, but I wasn't sitting there like mapping out, I'm going to make 10 sales of this and 20
Yeah.
sales of this and yada, yada, yada. Like anytime I do that, I get really like attached. And that's like the worst thing to do when you're trying to hit a goal.
Yeah.
So I just shifted my mindset and I was like, one, I need to learn how to build leverage, and I
Mm-hmm.
need to learn how to like work beyond myself and like make my business work for me and not me like be this slave to my business that I am. That
Mm-hmm.
was number one. And then number two was that I needed to go all in. I was not all in. Like I was saying I was all in, but I wasn't.
Why? Tell me more. Also, I really love that. Firm goals, soft
Soft
plans.
plans. Yeah. So I was like, I know I'll make $1 million. I just put this on my story today because like Marcos and I are like very close to hitting consistent $500,000 months, like both of us
Amazing.
combined. And
Wow.
like we want to get to 1 million a month. We're kind of talking about like, is it going to happen? Like we're going to go at the same time,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or is it going to be like we each make 500K a month? So
That's
we're
amazing.
just like in chats about that right now. But
Yeah.
like I put this on my
Those are
story today.
those are like the goal conversations that I want to have with a partner.
Yeah.
It's a different conversation. Like,
Possible for you.
yeah, it's a different conversation. It's a how do you expansively like, and also for somebody to have that conversation and be normal, because that's another thing
Yeah.
too. You can't have a conversation with someone who's like, "Oh my God, do you think we're gonna do it?" And it's like,
Yeah.
no, of course we're gonna do it. Like,
Yeah. And it's like
duh.
the standard we hold each other to is so high.
Yeah.
Like honestly, it's actually interesting because Marcos started this current business a year after I started mine. So he's always kind of like what he feels right now is like what I felt last year. So
I love
we're kind of like always in that momentum.
Yeah.
So we're able to just hold each other to these like way higher standards. And I think because he's like a man too, honestly, it's like he could just hold a lot more emotionally.
Yeah.
And that has been so supportive for me because I can like break. Like I can get really like one thing that he actually held me to a couple weeks ago was he was like, you need to build resiliency like a muscle. And like I think a lot of people look at me on the outside and they're like, Julia, like you're so resilient, like you're a fucking rock. Like I think people really think this about me. And then I'm coming home to Marcos being like, you got to build resiliency. But
Are
that's
you
so
like,
good
wait,
for me.
is it the truth? Like I'm such a crab. Like I'm
Yeah.
hard on the outside and I'm so
Yeah.
soft on the inside.
Oh
Like
no, that's me. Yeah. And that's
literally
literally me.
throw
Oh
him
yeah,
in
like I'm like
tears.
crashing out, crying. I'm like, you're so right. How do I
Yes.
do? He's like, just fucking do it. Like he
Yes.
it's so funny because
Give me a push up.
he's so soft and like kind and just like literally the most selfless person I know. But
Oh.
like that is how he shows his love is like I demand more of you because I know what you're capable of. And like
Mhm.
for strong-willed women like us, we
Yeah,
need a man like that
absolutely.
because it's like everyone thinks you're the strong one, but you
Mhm.
need somebody stronger than you to like hold you up to that next level.
Yep, yep. I lost track. What was the question? Oh yeah, so you said firm goals, soft
Firm
plans.
goal, soft plans.
Okay, so then what was the thing? Like
Yeah.
what was the
So
theme?
the biggest shift for me was honestly
Always.
building my team, but even on a deeper level, nailing one funnel. So, like, for example, my biggest issue when I was making like 200K a year
Hmm.
was that I would just like never go all in on my one thing. So, like, I never went in on my one sales funnel, I never went in on one platform and
Yeah.
all this. So, like, in 2023, I'm like, fuck it. Like, it was like my all in year. And I
Hmm.
remember having a decision where I was like, do I want to do sales calls? Do I not want to do sales calls? Kind of like these debates we see online often. And I was like, fuck it. Like, I know this shit works. I'm going to just go all in on my one platform, one funnel, 1 million.
Yeah.
And that is exactly to a T what happened. So, what I did was I was like, okay, I am going to do I call it now my cash system
Hmm.
content, build an audience, sales call, close a client. And
Hmm.
then I had a really streamlined process of like, okay, we're going to have this exact DM process, this
Hmm.
exact sales process, and this exact client fulfillment process and exact content process. And because of the system, I
Yeah.
was actually able to like measure it and then grow it. I'm actually
Hmm.
watching this video on YouTube right now about like what's the key difference of someone who makes 100K a month and $1 million a month. And
Hmm.
the three things were like team,
Hmm.
tracking, and projections. And I'm like, that's so fucking true because that
Yeah.
was like the biggest shift for me. And going to what we were talking about earlier, like this feminine masculine thing in business,
Yeah.
when I first started, I came from the very like woo woo online female
Hmm.
coaching space. And it
Right.
was just like, do whatever you want, whenever you want, be in the energy, be in the vibe,
Right.
and you're going to make money. And
Yeah.
that works. Like, there's a lot of people doing that very successfully, but it's not the business that I wanted because
Yeah.
that business has no leverage. It's
Mm.
100% dependent on you being a single solopreneur founder.
Yeah.
But to me, the real value in what I'm building is in an asset.
Yeah.
So once I got really clear that I needed one sales process, one
Yeah.
platform,
Yeah.
and one like core team, I just went all in and I just tracked it and I measured it. Whenever something broke, I was able to fix it.
Wow. I love that. It is true. His team is such a big play.
Yeah.
Such a big play. And the times that I have like cracked and I look back and I'm like, oh shit. And it was the team. It was the way I was
Yeah.
and it wasn't like the people, it was me. It
Yeah.
was me. I have full
Yeah.
responsibility for that. But and I've seen it so many times with my
Mm.
clients, with friends, of like the team, the operation. Wow. I want to go back to what you said earlier because I feel like so many people, my listeners can relate to this. You said that as an immigrant child,
Mm.
you learned that the harder you work, the more money you make. How did you break that? And do you still struggle with it? Because
Mm.
I think I still struggle with it. I still
Yeah.
find myself in moments of like, I'm forcing this. I need to
Yeah.
stop. Right. Like I
Yep.
know it doesn't have to be. And it's interesting because like I'll be in rooms with my parents and like
Hmm.
my parents are entrepreneurs, so successful. But like my parents still work and they don't even have to work. Like
Mm.
they don't have, but to them, if
Yeah.
they don't, like the wheels are gonna fall off, right?
Yeah.
And it's such a at this point it's almost like for their mental health they kind of have to, right? Like they have to have that routine, right? I don't want to be 65, 70, and like
Yeah.
having to work because my wheels are gonna fall off, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So I love this. I love this question. And it's actually like, I think what really helped me was seeing that it's very different. So
Mm,
for example, like I originally thought like, okay, the harder I work,
Mm-hmm.
the more money I make. And
Yeah.
that belief has a ceiling, right? Because
Yes.
there's only like so much like physical like effort you can put to something.
Yeah.
But don't get that confused with that I love to work and I am
Mhm.
kind of like your parents, like you're saying, like I see myself working forever.
Yeah.
So that shift is the answer because, for example, you have to build leverage so
Mm.
that you can out earn the hours that you put in.
Yeah.
So then what happens after that? You keep working because you love it, but that leverage compounds. So
Yeah.
it's like, right, putting money in the stock market over time, it's going to compound. But a lot of entrepreneurs, unfortunately, don't know how to build leverage. And there's
Mm.
only four types of leverage: media, labor, capital, code. The fourth
Code.
one, not
Oh,
my forte.
yeah.
Media, labor, capital, code, right?
And code. Yeah.
So it's like, for example, I'm building a media company,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then reinvesting
Mm-hmm.
into labor. Because it's
Yeah.
like I believe most in media and labor. And then capital is how I'll build my personal wealth, right? Investments,
Yeah.
right? Investing to make that money and true passive income, right? That's my belief with online coaching.
Right.
Business is not passive income. Passive
No.
income is truly like make money in your sleep. And that's like capital leverage, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think the way that I've always seen this is that like I love to work. Like I could literally put in 16 hours a day and not get tired. And just like yesterday, I probably put in like 16 hours and I was like still so excited about what I was doing and to like force myself to go to sleep. Like, and I get
I love hearing this. You
like
know,
I have that much gas in my tank. Like I really do.
yeah. Well,
But don't get that confused with like, I'm trying to trade my time for money.
right.
Those hours are being put into building leverage.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I also think, if you're listening to this, I also think it's important that Julia has like a system built. Like she has a very disciplined system, which brings me to my next question because you posted your YouTube video about this recently.
Mm-hmm.
Your 4 a.m. wake up
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
And I was like blown away. It's so interesting though, because at my event this weekend, a couple months ago, I started working with a hypnotherapist and I started
Mm.
waking up at like 5 a.m. She was like, I want you to try this. Do like
Mm.
the 5:30. So I was doing 5:30 and she's like, go straight to your
Okay.
desk and do work. And from 5:30 to like 8 o'clock, the
Yeah.
amount of work that I got done, but that like
Mm.
I had so much energy
Yeah.
and I stopped at 6 o'clock and I was like, and granted, I was in a relationship at the time. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna stop at 6 o'clock because I want to spend time with my partner. But I also like, there's guilt behind that when
Mm.
I ended the relationship and then I was like, oh, I want to keep working. And now I
Yeah.
realize like, wait, I can keep working. But there's this like, oh, but you should stop because you're going to get tired and this and that.
Mm.
And like, granted, I'm not, when I was like 25, 26, I definitely had more energy. But I find
Mm.
myself now at 36 very much like if I have the energy to keep going, like I have no shame
Mm.
in going. I was talking about this with Ken when I saw her in
Yeah.
Chicago and we were going off about it. And I said to her, and I'm like, look, I love a day off if I
Yeah.
need it. Like nothing like a like actually is a perfect example. Yesterday, I was supposed to take the day off. It was
Mm-hmm.
the weekend after my event. My team like literally blocked off my calendar. My OBM was like, "Why are
Mm-hmm.
you here?" And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "Honestly, I want to be. Leave me alone."
Yeah.
Like I have the energy to be here. I want to be here.
Yeah.
Like I'm excited about what's coming. Like shit needs to get done. And like this isn't like a panic. This is
Mm-hmm.
actually like I feel creative. I feel inspired. And
Yeah.
I think that's the good feminine that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I think the problem with the coaching industry when you talk about like that feminine versus masculine, like women think like, oh, it's just sit back and do nothing. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
I actually think that a part of the feminine is having the balance and the boundary to know when to stop when you have to. Like think about it. Like back in the day, men used to hunt and bring the food. The
Yeah.
women were the one that were like literally slaughtering, like cutting the skin off the deer, cutting the meat. The
Yeah.
men weren't doing that. They were just hunting and bringing it and hanging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we were the one that were cutting it, chopping it up, saving
Mm.
it, cooking it. Like, how do you think they ate? If it were up to them, we would have just be eating raw meat the whole time.
Right? Yes.
So, like, I think that's like what that's. I mean, I can totally relate to you when you were like, you kind
Yeah.
of have a piff with the spiritual industry because I think it's like I think we take it to the extreme. Like I am
Mhm.
very much like be in your feminine when you need to, but also understand the balance of like true femininity.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're in a relationship. You can probably attest to this. How do you feel like you're in your feminine slash maybe
Mm.
masculine when you're in a relationship with Marcos? Like,
Yeah, good question. So I think for me, it's like having my traditional values. So, like, for example, like cooking, right?
mm,
Keeping the house nice, decorating the house. So, like, doing those things. Like, one thing that I really have never done is just like lost sight of who I am in the relationship
mhm,
while I'm still building. Cause it's like I grew up in a household where like that was not what the women did, like, the women worked. So
yeah.
like for me, I didn't grow up in this like little Hallmark, let's go to Home Goods and decorate the house for Halloween. Like no, like
Yeah, yeah.
literally no, that was
Yeah,
not my childhood. Like my mom doesn't cook. My grandma cooked everything for us. Like
mhm,
so I kind of took on those more traditional values from my nonna,
mhm,
and she taught me really all about cooking and like bringing people together at the dinner table, right? And things like that. But then I got from my mom, like, women work, women make their own money, like, be an
mhm.
independent woman.
Yeah,
So I think I have these two, like, kind of different feminine influences on me. But like, my Nona was also like the breadwinner of like a very bare minimum, like, new American family household,
yeah.
like, immigrated here from Italy. And then my mom kind of took on more of the like, I'm gonna like make a dent in this world and like be an independent woman. Because and I almost feel like sometimes like she repelled the cooking and cleaning
Mhm.
because that was like all like her mom did. But also too, like, my grandpa didn't work. Like, my grandma did it all. Like,
Oh,
she
wow.
cooked, she cleaned, she brought the money, she got the food
Wow.
on the table, she was like the mom. So
Okay.
then I think my mom, like, because she had built a business with my dad and they had that more power couple dynamic, that was more like, okay, now I'm going to be this independent
Yeah.
woman. And it's so interesting now because it's like my grandma just passed away
Mm.
and it's just like my mom. And now I want to like really take care of my mom. And
Yeah.
like, this is something to me where it's like my mom's like a real estate agent and she's kind of at a point in her life now where she's like reinventing herself,
Mhm.
and I'm teaching her how to be feminine. So like, it's so amazing to
I
just
love
see
that.
like what we're actually able to do
Yeah.
when we build cool shit and like do cool shit in our life, that I
Mm.
can now like go back to my mom and be like, "Mom, like, yeah, take a day off and like go on this retreat and like go to
Yeah.
yoga and like
Oh,
almost be like an inspiration
yeah.
for like these generations that just did not have that. Like, they didn't have access to information. And I forgot what you were saying earlier, but you were saying something like, how did you start thinking like this or like building systems or something like that? And I just like taught myself because I was not around people that understood leverage and like wealth building.
Right.
Like, I had some proximity. Like, I went to, like, I was kind of like a middle class person going to like a really prestigious like private high school. So
Mhm.
I had proximity to like wealthy people, but
Right.
I was not educated. Like, my family like works hard, but we're not like collegiate, educated, like studious people, if you will.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
So
labor.
like
They
so it's
built their
like
wealth
I
off
had
labor.
to, and I think that's honestly why deep down I'm so passionate about educational content,
Yeah.
because it changed my life, because I did not have access to information and education because I just did not come from that.
I love that. I love that so much. I asked you about your 4 a.m. Okay, tell us.
Yeah.
What do you do? Okay, so what time do you, my big question is what time do you go to bed?
Yeah. So past few weeks not been great with my sleep. I'm gonna be honest with you, but my best night's sleep, like, I could get like a 90 plus sleep score, is
Love
if
it.
I wind down from 7 to 8, like I read for like an hour, and like not like a straight up hour. Like, I take a bath, I take a shower,
Yeah.
read 30 minutes, like whatever it is. But
Yeah.
if I'm like phone off by 7 and like
Nice.
really winding down, and then I'm falling asleep between 8 and 9, I'm gonna wake up at 4 and have a great sleep score. To be honest, last night I was like online shopping for like an hour in bed. I had my red light glasses on, but I'm like, add to cart, Sephora, like just buying all this random shit that I needed that I at 8 o'clock at night remembered I needed.
Why does that happen?
And then
That
I'm like,
happens to
oh,
me
now is
too.
I have so much free time. I might as well just do it right now. My sleep score was shot like 79. So then I wake up at 4, I
Mhm.
meditate. I go in waves of meditation, but like I am a different person when I meditate. So like I really am trying to make it a priority. I meal prep. My assistant meal preps for me, and then I eat in the morning, and then I have my coffee, and then I work from 5 to 9. And I joke, it's my new 9 to 5, but it's my 5 to 9.
I love it. I love it. And you get all your work done, like the heavy load.
So the way that I structure my days is like I think it's very reflective of the season of business that you're at. So I've
Yeah.
actually always done this like 5, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. thing, but what I actually did in those blocks were different. So the
Hmm.
current season that I'm in is like 5 to 9. The deep work looks like pushing the business forward.
Yeah.
And then 9 to 5, I'm servicing and
Yep.
like managing. So it's like servicing. I wouldn't
Clients.
even say, yeah, but I wouldn't even say that because it's like our coaching staff is like on lock. You know this. Like
Yes.
you're in our programs. Like
Yeah.
I still do service like at the highest level, but to me, it's very just like easy because it's
Yep.
just like I'm just like tapped in. So that's
Yep.
not really what takes a lot of time.
Yep.
What takes a lot of time is like management. But it's
Mm,
like this is where I need to focus my time
yeah.
for my goals. So like for example, last week I was spending like 7 to 10 hours, like in a week. That's a long time on one thing, on
That is
hiring for a new role. Like, it's like not the sexy stuff, but it's like this is what needs to be done to get to the next level to
totally.
actually get like really good talent,
Yeah. Yeah, totally, totally. I mean, you and I are from the same school of like hire slow,
Hmm.
fire fast.
Yeah.
Like I have learned the hard way.
Yeah. We can
So
have a
I,
separate podcast episode about our stories.
yes, absolutely. Okay, how many team members do you have, Julia?
Don't put me on the spot like that. It's
I
so
have
hard because
to,
it's
I'm
like
like,
I
you have
have like my YouTube editor and these like contractors and stuff. The core team is about 11 right now, I believe.
that's awesome though. That's
Yeah,
really good. Yeah, that's so
it's
good.
psychotic. So you can imagine my days are like, but this is what's true. Like I
Yeah.
actually saw this girl. I really am inspired by her, and she structures her days pretty similar to me, and it was cool to see like, oh, you're doing this too. And
Mhm.
from like literally 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., all it says on her calendar is management. And I'm like, I feel that. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm spending most of my day on. But what's cool, and what I tell people all the time, is that I truly have a very steady $1 million a year business. Like, if I
Yeah.
wanted to, I could probably work 3, 4 hours a week if I wanted to. Like, my business makes 1 million a year with me working 3 to 4 hours a week.
That's amazing.
But to get it to the next level, that's where I'm spending my time.
Where is the next level?
Yeah. So my next goal, like honestly, like I've hit 200K months cash. I've hit
Hmm.
300K revenue.
Hmm.
So like for a while I was like, okay, maybe I want to just get to like 250K consistent because they've been more like peak months. Like I've been very stable at 100K for since 2023. So coming up almost on 3 years.
Yeah.
I really am more inspired by getting to $1 million a month. Like, I know
Mhm.
there will be stepping stones, but like for me, actually building to that because it's going to put the business in a completely different frame.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's like for me, like I pretty much know exactly what I have to do or like rather focus on to
Hmm.
get to $1 million months. And that's like a pretty long pathway. Like, I think it could happen in as short as a year,
Hmm.
but more realistically, like 3 to 5 years.
Hmm.
And the way that I see it is just like, that's just like my main thing right now. Cause it's
Yeah.
like, it took me like 2 years to get to 100K a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years.
Hmm.
And now to get to like 1 million a month, I'm like, okay, I want to obviously do it in less time and get more leverage.
Yeah.
But to be honest, this year for me was a massive setup year. Like I was just talking about this in some of my stories. Like
Mm.
it was just like fucking brutal. Like
Yeah.
personally, professionally, like it was just a hard fucking year.
Yeah.
And that's why I know like this setup has
Hmm.
been building for so long that I don't feel like we're just going to get like 200, 300 and get stuck. Like it really feels like it's about to skyrocket
Yeah.
because this is exactly what I did. Like I pretty much went from like an average like 10K a month to
Yeah.
100K a month. Like
Yeah.
it went really fast like that. And I'm
Mm.
kind of feeling that same trajectory here.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my God. This has been amazing. I feel like I've taken so many notes and nuggets, but I knew it was going to be good. We end this podcast with one question, and it's usually, what is the point of all this? Like, what is
Mm.
the impact that you plan to leave in the world? So you're going to get to your $1 million months. I know it. You know it. I have no doubt about it. There is not a bone in my body that's like, this bitch ain't going to do it. Like, I'm going to be like in that corner, like, yes, go
Yeah.
get it, And so you're going to get there. And then what?
Yeah.
And then
So I
what?
was,
And then why?
yeah, I was reflecting on this a lot lately, and I've just come to this realization that like I genuinely love to work. Like, I think I got really stuck, if I'm being honest, last year
Hmm.
because I thought, like, oh, I'm about to get married. I just bought this house. Like, I thought now I have to live this more like traditional life, if I'm
Yeah.
being honest.
Yeah.
And I was almost at this like internal war with myself of like, but I make all this money and I have all this money. And, Marcos, if I don't want to work, I don't have to. Like, I'm just going to be straight up about that. Like, he will more than happily support me and our family. And I think it was like everything outside of me made me feel like I should want that. And
Hmm.
almost like even saying it, I'm like, I kind of sound like an asshole. Like, because this could be some people's dream, but it's not my dream. And
Yeah.
like, it actually took me like a full year. Like, I just had this breakthrough moment actually on my birthday. I like broke down to build back up that like my purpose on this earth actually like Marcos literally asked me this question, and it's going to be a little bit morbid, but we saw it in a video from Hermosi, and he's like, your purpose in life is the reason why you don't kill yourself. And when
Hmm.
you start to look at it from that frame, I
Hmm.
realize that my purpose and my reason for living is excellence. Like, I love being excellent. I
Hmm.
don't feel like in this comparison game at all. Like, I just am judging from the person I was yesterday and like, am I getting better every day?
Yeah.
And like, once I had this mindset shift that like, it's not about anything external,
Yeah.
it is 100% purely excellence.
Hmm.
Because when you do excellent work, everything in your life, it's like that, it's the one big domino for
Hmm.
me, my
Hmm.
opinion. Like, if
Hmm.
I'm excellent at my work, I'm going to have an amazing product. I'm going to have an amazing experience. I'm going to be able to give to my family. I'm going to be able to donate more. I'm going
Hmm.
to be able to build generational wealth. Like, that's my one domino. So
Hmm.
I think when we're asking through this question and why I got really stuck was because I hit my goals, like all the goals I ever had for myself, so
Hmm.
fast. And then I just kept feeling like I need to reset this barometer. I need to reset this barometer and like set new goals.
Yeah.
But then, like, honestly, like you were saying, like, I don't have a doubt in my mind that I'm going to achieve my goals. So
Yeah.
it's not that because then it just feels like random. Like, I'm going to set it, achieve it, set it, achieve it. It's kind of
Yeah.
like torture if you think
Yeah.
about it.
Well,
So
yeah. And
then I
it's,
got so clear and like, it's about excellence.
I love that. I love that so much. It almost feels like a part of you is like chasing it. Like you have to
Hmm.
get it. Like whether you get it in 3 years or 5 years or 10 years, like you
Yeah.
know you're going to get it. And it's just letting go of that. I can
Yeah.
definitely relate to you. I think this year has been very much like the realizing how much of what I've wanted in my life has been for other people versus what I truly want
Yeah.
and what that actually looks like. And like you said,
Yes.
like you got the house, you got engaged, and you're like, oh, so the next thing is like a